To talk about the practical urgency for Catholic schools is to speak about evangelization. If you take anything away from the talk today, that's the point. Our schools are about evangelization. At the time of the Councils of Baltimore, the bishops of the United States were greatly concerned that Catholic children not be assimilated into the Protestant culture so dominant at that time. That the Catholic children of the middle of the 19th century might lose their Catholic faith in the face of an overwhelmingly Protestant cultural milieu was a very great threat. Today, of course, we face a different and perhaps even more daunting threat to our children's faith. The threat that they will become pagans. It might help us to understand this danger better if we were to think for a moment about what we do not want to happen to our children in the course of their education. Another way of launching this little thought exercise or assessment I am proposing is to ask, what kind of freshmen do we not want to send on to the university? I've put together a list of qualities which, while certainly not comprehensive, provide us with a sense of where we do not want our students to end up. First, we do not want our students to enter the university as moral relativists. Our Holy Father, Pope Benedict XVI, has spoken of the dictatorship of relativism. And it is the unfortunate case that children are particularly susceptible to falling under the sway of this dictatorship. Our culture tells them in very, very many powerful ways, that there is no objective truth, that the best anybody can do is figure out what is true for me and to follow my own heart wherever it leads me. For obvious reasons, this deception has a strong appeal to the young. Second, we don't want to send them to the university as nihilists. Nihilism is another great danger for our students, and it's closely related to relativism. If a young person does not believe in objective truth, then he or she, consequently, is in a very real way already stepping off the cliff's edge and into the chasm of nihilism, viewing life as meaningless. We might see in the still relatively recent Goth movement some of the standard bearers of nihilism among the young. But there are certainly other signs. Recreational drug use, participation in the hookup subculture, and all those other ways where young people make it their slogan to say, whatever. Moral relativism, nihilism, next thing we don't want to do is send them off as slackers. If there is one personality type that is a perennial source of frustration for parents and teachers, it's that of a slacker. Of course, there have always been slackers of one kind or another. But in a time and place of such prosperity as we enjoy, even though we're coming out of this downturn, at least I hope we're coming out of it, at a time when adolescents so rarely work in order to help support their families, as was common when our society was predominantly agricultural, and when the abundance of leisure time this prosperity produces is largely taken up with the ubiquitous noise of the world, internet, pop music, video games, texting, we have a breeding ground for slackers.